Welcome back to my channel. We're trying some natural light today. There's a little bit. It's very cloudy. I live in Colorado, and I feel like we don't get sunshine until about June. So, we're gonna try it. Hopefully, it looks good. I feel like it looks a little bit better than some of my videos have been recently. I need to get my cord for my ring light. I just don't know where it is. But anyway, we are going to talk about Catching Fire by Susanna Collins. I would usually pair this with a movie. I watched a couple of clips. I don't really remember the movie very well, like I do the first one. So, I'm gonna kind of talk about kind of what I saw, what some of the differences are. But this is not gonna be like as in depth as probably the first one because I couldn't find the movie free online or anything, so I just watched a couple clips to kind of remind me of what it was kind of like. First of all, should I just start with Gail and Peeta, like my feelings on that whole thing, because I feel like that's just where we need to start. So that's where we're starting. I feel like Gail refusing Katniss's money is in character for him. Now, should he have? That's such a hit or miss question. I feel like he's more of like, I need to support my family in the ways I need to support my family and not just take from others. Plus, like, I think he's like, well, you need to take care of your family, I need to take care of mine. Like, I don't think he feels that connection like Katniss does to him. Because even though I feel like there's a deeper connection with Katniss and Gale, and she says this through the whole book, especially when we get into the whole thing of like Snow giving her that wedding dress and wanting her to marry Peeta and stuff like that. Like, she's like, no, I kind of want to be with Gale. So we already kind of know where she stands. I feel like Peeta's just her little brother that just keeps on needing protection from her. Like, that's seriously what I feel like every single time like I see them together. Like, it comes up as love, but like you can love somebody and not have any attraction to them. Like, they don't balance each other at all. It's not like Gale and Katniss where it's like they're both fighters. They're both trying to support their family like the best they can. Like, if they combine that unit, like that would be a very powerful family unit for both of their families. Because Katniss would have that extra money to support them, and then they would still be doing what they were doing in District 12, if we wanted to go that direction. But we find out that there's another games. I like the idea of bringing back the best of the best. Like, because it gets really interesting, especially like some of the battles that they finally get to have at the end, and like the brains of the operations, and like people, like the way that people are able to like navigate because it's like a little bit of a stronger battle. Like, Haymitch is definitely correct. I saw the scene where he's like, yeah, this is gonna be your toughest battle yet. Like, yeah, I believe him. I love Haymitch. He's one of my favorite characters because I think he gets Katniss at a level that I don't think anybody else does, and it's not just because he himself was a candidate, but like I just think he gets her personality. Like, he's a little sassy, she's a little sassy, especially in the movies. That's something that the movies enhanced that the books did not. Like, I don't get a lot of sass from Katniss in the books. And it might just be because I'm reading with my eyeballs. I'm not listening to her talking, which I think enhances the experience, especially with something like satire, sass, like extreme personalities like that. Some authors do it really well where I can like read it off page, but Susanna Collins, like I probably, if I ever feel like, doing this again, we'll probably read the audiobooks to see if I can pick up on the sassier parts. But yeah, she's really sassy in the movies. Jennifer Lawrence did a really good job with Katniss and making her have a little bit more of a character, because I don't feel like she has much of a character in these books, and you can understand, like, when one of the tributes comes up in the movie, I can't remember the scenes in the book, but like she's the guy's like, "You're angry," and she's like, "Yes, I'm angry. Like I was told that I would have peace and quiet after the first games, and now you're telling me I have to go through this again." So it's like there is a lot of anger, there is a lot of hatred towards, President Snow for making this happen. Because he's the end all be all. I love President Snow as a villain. Like, I think he is actually a good villain. Like, now, I'm going to kind of bring in Songbirds and Snakes in for a moment here, if you guys don't mind. I don't feel like that enhanced him as a character. Like, it gave him more of a sympathy, I guess, but I didn't really need to sympathize with Snow. I feel like he was just supposed... Sorry, guys. I think he was just supposed to be our villain. Like, that's fine. Like, every story needs its villain. Like, I'm okay with him being, like, a straight-up villain. Like, he didn't need to be anything more than a straight-up villain. He has some parts where he's a little bit more sympathetic, especially, I think, more, like, when we're getting closer to the end of the series. But, yeah, he's a political-driven madman that created, like, changed these games probably for the better. Like, we have to give him that. Like, he gave us mentors. Like, we're not just throwing these kids into the pit and hoping for the best. He's the one that created, like, that we get, like, loot and stuff, like, sent to the tributes. Sorry, guys. It is, like 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm filming. But, like, I have to give him that. Like, he did make it for the better. Now, like, when we're looking at Katniss' situation, like, having her to go through 2 Hunger Games, like, what does that do for your mental health? Like, it can't be great. And her kind of losing her mind, like, by the end of... kind of like, you can kind of see it, like, when, like, the marriage stuff, like, she starts going down. Because she doesn't see Peeta that way. Like, I guess it would be cute. I guess, like, having the 2 tributes that survived the first Hunger Games and stuff would be cute, but it's not cute. Like, and like, District 12 being blown up at the end, like, you can tell that this book was just complete setup. Especially if you know the 3rd book and, like, the 3rd movies and stuff, and you know what happens. Like, you can tell, like, there's little specks of, okay, like, we're gonna hurt your family if you don't stick with this whole Peeta situation. Okay. And then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do that. And, like, you can tell, like, there's pieces building up, and, like, she's always, like, getting people around her that's going to support her. Like, Katniss is always finding support somewhere. Um, who she picks for like people to take her side was really interesting. She picked the science people, which good choice because like she like they knew all about this arena. Um and then she picked like the district 1 guy. Well, she picked the older woman and then like obviously the district 1 guy. So like you had like another decent fighter because you have Peeta. Like Peeta's not going to help you. Um so and then I think she gets the girl that gets really mad at the government, that her side. I don't remember all the characters' names. I don't. This is one series that it's like side characters. Like I feel like are there to be side characters. I know that sounds really bad, but um, it's just like they could die at any moment, and then for it to like end like District 12 been destroyed. And I think it's funny that she like more asked like is her family okay than Gale. I guess we're just assuming Gale's fine. So it's interesting, and then they get separated. Peeta and Katniss get separated. He gets sent to the government side. She gets just sent off. And I don't know. Like I feel like I either wanted a couple of things to happen. I either wanted her to find a whole brand new guy that wasn't maybe necessarily part of this whole love triangle. I want her to be alone. And I think it's good if she was alone because like I just think she needs to go through some stuff before she can commit to anybody. And I think like Peeta to me is just infatuated with her. Like I don't think it's necessarily like he's like, "Oh, like I actually do love you and it's not because you saved me like 10,000 times." Like I think it's more of infatuation. And I think it's like, okay, you're infatuated with me and then I see you as a little brother. Like it doesn't work for me and it doesn't, you know, if you know how the story ends, like you know where like who she ends up with and stuff, but I'm trying to act like this is like we've only read this and we need to read the third one. Um but I don't know. I feel like this needed to be written, but there's stuff that could have been cut out. And that's like the first time I felt like that with Susanna Collins. And like this is my third book. I've read Songbird and Snakes, Hunger Games, and this. And I feel like some stuff could have been cut out of this. And I think it's because it was kind of samey. Which is fair because we're doing another Hunger Games. Like you can't really, amp it up any more than you can. Um, but I'm really excited to read. Sorry, guys. Mockingjay, just to see like how the stuff that was like built in here is gonna go into Mockingjay. Um, I remember those were my favorite movies. I think it's because it wasn't about the games at all. If I remember right, it's more about like her in society, and excuse me, and it was a lot more interesting. So you got a lot more interesting characters and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I love like I'm still liking Katniss. Like Katniss is my all-time favorite character, I think, in teen literature, to be honest. Um, and that's like comparing like all the vampire stuff. Sorry, guys. All the vampire stuff I've related to, read, watched. Like, Katniss is like my favorite character now. I think if I read these books, I would probably still said like somebody from Vampire Diaries because I was really into Vampire Diaries. Um, but now that I'm older, she's my girl. Like, and I kind of hate. I'm gonna go back to the wedding thing for a second, and then we'll kind of end up in here. I loved how they did it in the movie where it turns black and then now she's the Mockingjay, which you can tell right then and there. If you knew the title of the third book, you knew that was going to be alluded. That was going to be something that's set up for the third book. Like, and I can't remember if they do it in here. This so much combined with the first one in my head. Like, some of the scenes, like, were just so similar. Where it's like, you're watching it in the movie, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is the second movie. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this could have I don't think they could have... Suzanne Collins could have necessarily wrote Hunger Games and Catching Fire into one book. Because it's like, unless she cut out the second games. So if like she cut all that out, did like the whole parade stuff, like at the end, and then was like, oh, okay, District 12 is gone. And then we went into the third book and the third book drama. We could have maybe done this as a duology. But with her wanting to do another games, like, you have to stuff that into a second book. And I think she did that on purpose to push the factor of, like, we don't like President Snow and stuff like that. Where I'm like, I already didn't like President Snow. I really didn't like the games. Like, it wasn't something, like, I needed, like, more evidence of. Like, I was pretty evident that I don't like him at all. Especially if she added a little bit more to Haymitch's backstory. I don't know if she was meaning to write the other two books. Like, right now the Son of Reach, something like that is out, which is Haymitch's Hunger Games, and then you have Songbird of Snakes, which is President Snow's backstory. I don't know if she was meaning to write those or what, and that's why we didn't get like a lot more about Haymitch's backstory, or she didn't find it necessary. Which, I mean, in all honesty, I don't, unless it was really going to parallel Katniss's storyline towards the end, and I don't. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it doesn't seem like it's same at all. So, and Haymitch is pretty much like the father figure of like these two anyway. Like, he's the one that's just keeping them alive. Like, they don't necessarily need to know his business, to be honest. He's just there to be a mentor, not to be their friend. Now, I think towards the end of this whole series, like, Haymitch actually does end up being Katniss's friend, and she really leans on him a lot. But, like, if you really think about it, that's not really his goal or his mission in life for the first two books. I think it's a little bit more in the third book, where you see their relationship grow a lot. But I think Katniss gets a lot more agency in the third book, which I'm excited to read. Now, I don't know when I'm like, as you can tell, this is a library book. So I just get these books when I either see them at the library or I feel like checking them out. Like I'm in a reading slump, which I have been. So I was like, okay, I'll pick up the second one because I know it's going to be a good time. I'm going to have a good time, even though I did feel like this was really long, like for a lot of reasons. But 4.5 out of 5 stars still. I think I gave Hunger Games 5. I think this is going to be a 4.5 and then we'll see what Mockingjay is. I can't remember what I rated Songbirds and Snakes, but anyway, you have a lovely rest of your day and I will see you in a video coming real soon. Bye.